We're on the line with Ricardo McDonald, PPI insider, former Bengals, Bears, and Bronco player. Part of the infamous Team McDonald, Ricardo's a motivational speaker, an activist, a father of four, a husband, and much, much more. And Ricardo's coming to us from Houston. Ricardo, how is Houston these days, and how's your family?
Oh, it's great. Wonderful. And it's hot. Nice and warm and hot, just like I like it.
So what is it like to live in Houston with a winning team now?
I mean, it is absolutely wonderful. I mean, just to be able to be around. And I remember about 3-4 years ago when we had a couple of those 2 and 14 years or 3 and 13 years, and people couldn't give away their tickets fast enough, and now you just can't get a ticket around town. So definitely a change in the atmosphere. I think this team that Rick Smith and the other head coaches have built, Kubiak and those guys, I think are just phenomenal. I mean, this team was built from the ground up, and that's why I think this will not just be a one-year anomaly. I think that this is something that they've built, and I think for the years to come, kind of what you've seen up in New England, that this team will be something to reckon with within the next 5 to 10 years.
What have you seen as a former player that's been different on the Texans this year that's helping them win?
Well, I think defensively wise, because offensively this team has always been ranked in the top 4. I think defensively wise on the other side of the ball, that those 4 guys up front, the Texans runs a 4-3, and they don't do as much blitzing. I think Brian Cushing was a huge loss, and I was telling someone when he went down against the Jets that we're not going to miss him that much because whenever you can put pressure on with 4 guys up front who makes a quarterback life a living hell, I think it says something. And I'm just a firm believer in that. So goes the D-line, which are those 4 guys up front, so goes the defense. And so, what you're seeing is that the quarterback, if you can't get the ball out in 2 or 3 seconds, I mean, J.J. Watt or, Antonio Smith or one of those other guys are going to basically eat your lunch. So I think that those 4 guys up front have made a significant difference on the defensive line.
Have you guys, Team McDonald, have they made it to a Texans game yet this season?
Yeah, I mean, I've probably been to about 5 of the games so far, home games.
So you played for the Bengals, Ricardo. All PPI followers know that. Have you been watching them? Have you seen any Bengals games? What are any guys you've been watching on the Bengals?
Yes, as a matter of fact, Marvin Lewis was my lecturer linebacker coach at the University of Pittsburgh. So I have a history. I have a history with Marvin, and so I'm very good friends with him. And also, within the Bengals, I've been to maybe about one. I try to make it to about 1 game a year. But I think it's a team that within the AFC that I think is going to be one to reckon with. I mean, we're in a tough division. Even back when I played, I mean, our key nemesis was the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think even till today that I think they finally were able to, I think we lost the first game to Pittsburgh, but I mean, hopefully we could, get up that hurdle because I think within that division, Baltimore is another team that's always there. I've played in a couple of AFC championships as well as Cleveland. I think what the Cleveland Browns is building, I think the next couple of years probably going to be similar to what the Texans have built.
What are your projections for the playoffs for the Super Bowl? What 2 teams? Texans and who?
Well, you know what? Who I like? I like, the Texans. I mean, once the playoffs start, I mean, you win 2 home games during the Super Bowl. So I think the thing that if I could look at any team within the AFC, when you look at the Texans, they're well balanced. I mean, New England. I mean, Tom Brady is a phenomenal quarterback, but beyond that, I think defensively they're very vulnerable. I think the Texans could not only could they put up points, but I think defensively that they could basically be stout. I think on the other side of the other division in the NFC, you know what? I tell you, it's funny because you watch the New York Giants play, and what you see with the Texans is that they have a great quarterback. They play those 4 guys up front. I mean, to put immense pressure on the quarterback. So I haven't ruled out the Giants yet. I think from an NFC perspective, that I think in the end could probably pose a threat. I think is I'm just going faith for saying is that I wouldn't put it past the Washington Redskins. Because I think Shanahan has demonstrated that he has won a couple of championships, and that he knows pretty much what it takes to go. And I think they've been searching for years and years to try to find a quarterback, and I think finally now they got it in RG the third.
Did you see their last game? RG3 really stood out. That was great. So a few personal questions for you as an insider, Ricardo. What events have you recently attended, or any speaking engagements? Because I know you're a motivational speaker. Anything that you've done recently that you want to share with us?
Yes, as a matter of fact, about 2 weeks ago, I spoke at a Boys and Girls Club, and part of a lot of my speech to a lot of these young kids is that everything in life starts with a belief. That if you don't believe, then basically you cannot accomplish anything great in life. So it was about the majority of the age bracket was between 10 to about 15 years old. And I like those young men because I think that's kind of the area within your life where most kids are kind of you've just discovered your sexuality and you're trying to find your way, find a niche in life, and to be able to instill that belief system that there's nothing on this face of this earth that you cannot accomplish. But now, what's going to be tied to it is hard work, and I think that's what's going to separate the haves from the have-not, the great from the good from the great. And so one thing that I constantly try to instill in them is that anything in life that's worth having is worth working for. I mean, you got to bust your tail and beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Didn't you come to America from Jamaica?
Yes.
And you got here when you were around that age, am I right?
Yeah, I did. And, the one thing that kind of helped me was I have a twin brother, and so we basically competed at everything, me and my twin, on a day-to-day basis. So, it's one thing that I was telling someone the other day, that twin boys, are ultimately competitive against each other, So just having the opportunity to be able to compete with my brother. I mean, I remember there's some days where he made the honor roll and I didn't. I mean, I was like literally just so ticked off. I just wanted to be I just wanted to be my brother at everything in life. Everything.
Right. Didn't he played in the NFL too, didn't he, Ricardo?
No, he did. He played for the Colts. He played for Arizona and the Colts, Cardinals and the Colts. So
you guys competed so hard growing up that you made it into the league together.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing because, we're older in life now, and just the other day we came down for Thanksgiving, and we're at the driving range, and I'm looking, and he's like whacking this thing like 275, and I'm trying to, I did everything in my power to try to go about 300. I mean, even in our older years, I'm still trying to compete against my brother. So we just try to compete against each other, everything.
Thank you for joining us at Pro Player Insiders, being an insider, and we'll see you at the Super Bowl.
Okay, great. Look forward to it.